Är det någon som känner för lite så här korsdrag? Ja, jag också tror jag. Jag ska gå och öppna en dörr.
Is it good? Is it too loud? It's good? All right.
Jag är typ så här ifall det
Hi everyone, my name is David Aspen and it's a pleasure to be here. I'm very excited and I'm very happy to see that so many people showed up for tonight's event. And I do hope that I can keep all of you entertained throughout this evening. Now, before we get started, I have a question for you all. Do you know what a buffet is? For those of you guys who don't know what it is, let me tell you. A buffet is this huge table with a lot of different food and a lot of different dishes, which is all there for you to enjoy. Now, I believe that life works in a similar way as a buffet. Life works in a similar way as a buffet, in which case your mom or your dad or someone that you care about has prepared or they cooked something for you which is on this table for enjoy. Now, as a son or a daughter, it's kind of your obligation, to eat something that your parent has prepared for, even if you don't like it. It's your responsibility. Now, in life itself, you might have certain responsibilities and obligations as well, which you don't like, but you still can't avoid them. But even so, just like this table, life offers you so much. You have so many choices and so many opportunities to choose from, and it's all up to you which of these opportunities that you're going to take. With that said, it leads me on to the first topic for tonight, which is the value of time. Now, if you've ever been late for class, or if you ever been late for practice or work, if you ever used the excuse, I am late because of the bus, then please raise your hand. Alright, so I see some of you guys have used this excuse before. Now, you know that the bus is going to show up at a certain time and the bus is going to leave at a certain time, whether you're on that bus, back home sleeping, or if you just missed that bus. But know this, if you're not on that bus, someone will be on your bus, on your seat, heading towards where you should be, and they will be doing what it is that you should be doing. But if you're prepared and if you're invested enough of time, you are going to be on that bus. And you might think that you're not suffering, because when you show up late for class, and your teacher's not giving you the attention, the teacher's not calling your parents, and the teacher is not making a big speech about it in front of everybody in the class telling you the importance of being in time, you might think that you're not suffering. The fact is, you guys are suffering, because you will be that person not knowing what's going to be on that class on Friday. In fact, you won't even know there's going to be a test on Friday. And why is that? Because you thought that it was too important to sleep than prepare yourself to being in time. Because you thought that it was too important sitting in the back of the class talking with your friends instead of sitting in the front of the row of that class asking the teacher questions about the things that you did not understand. And someone, if not you, is going to take that moment and that opportunity away from you. But if you're investing enough time and prepare yourself, you are going to be ready. And even though this is not your ideal class, maybe this is not the course that you wanted to study, maybe you don't even like the class that you're in, you don't even like the teacher, still, if you manage to pass that exam, you can pass that course. And if you pass that course, it's going to take you to the next level where you want to be. But you need to invest time. Because with this course passed, you put that on your curriculum and it's going to help you get to where you want to be. And some of you guys might be thinking, some people might be in high school still or in university. And you might be thinking, my moment or my bus or my opportunity is not going to come until my third year of high school. So I can just waste my first year and then catch up with everything during my second year. But while you're wasting your first year, someone else is preparing themselves. Someone else is taking advantage of a whole year while you're there slacking because you're thinking that I want to go study abroad in my third year. I want to go to Australia. You want to go to Europe. You want to go to America. I don't know where you guys want to travel and where you want to study abroad. But while you're wasting that time, one person might take that opportunity away from you. What if a person shows up during the later part of your first year or at the beginning of your second year telling your teacher that they're going to take the most commitment student, the most dedicated student in your class and give him or her a scholarship? A scholarship which includes all of the opportunities to study abroad, the moment that you were waiting for, but you're not going to get it because you were too busy wasting your time instead of investing it in your future. You didn't know if it's going to take 1 year, 5 years, or 10 years for your opportunity to come. But when it's there, don't let anybody take that opportunity away from you. It's yours. But you need to prepare yourself. Same goes for you guys who are who got a job, who are not even in school anymore. If you have a job interview at 9 a.m. on Saturday morning, and you might think, this is not your ideal job, this is not, but with the monthly salary that you're going to earn, and with this job put in your curriculum, it's going to help you get to the next level. It's going to help you get to where you want to be. So I'm not talking about wasting time once again. If you know that you have that job interview at Saturday at 9 a.m. in the morning, you invest time. Monday till Friday, you look up, when is it, what type of weather will it be, on Saturday morning. You look up the weather, right? On Sunday it says it's going to, on Monday it says it's going to snow on Saturday morning. On Tuesday it says it's going to rain. When Friday night comes and it says it's going to be a blizzard on Saturday morning, and that hot girl, that handsome guy who you really want to hang out with calls you and I don't want to hang out, you say, I'm sorry, I'm busy preparing myself. Because you go to bed 2 hours earlier, so you can take a 2-hour earlier bus, so you can be there in time, because Mother Nature herself ain't gonna stand in your way for you to get where you want to be, because it's too important to you. So when you find that thing and you know that this job is not what I want, it's going to help me get to where I want to be. But before you get on that bus, you have to set a goal for yourself, right? You need to know which buses am I gonna catch, and where is it going to take me? What's the simplest way for you guys to find out what it is that you want? You ask yourself. And I'm not telling you guys to be concerned or considerate about what other people might think about you when you speak of your dream. You should neither limit yourself just because you want to do something that's never been done before. You need to allow yourself to be phenomenal. You need to allow yourself to be amazing. You all are here today born to be great, but you owe it to yourself to find out exactly how great you can be. And people are always going to think, badly about you. People are always going to tell you that you can't reach your dream, that it's inadequate, that your dream is unrealistic, it's an unrealistic goal. But if you don't spend your life trying to fulfill your dream, you're going to spend every moment of your life trying to fulfill someone else's dream. And it doesn't matter, because you don't live your life trying to satisfy others. It's your life. Take advantage of it. So even if you try and fail, that would still make you twice as much of a man or a woman than being back home in bed, sleeping, praying, hoping, and wishing for it to one day come true. But maybe you need to think in a different pattern. Maybe you need to work and put yourself in a position where you know that you're going to work harder than anyone has ever done. And trust me, even though people are going to say that your dream is unrealistic, that you can never achieve it, there are also so many people in the world that's going to get encouraged by you. They're going to think what you're doing is amazing, and you're going to motivate other people to reach their dreams. So just because a few people here right now thinks what you're doing is inadequate and doesn't have any value, doesn't mean that everyone in the world does that. And most importantly, it's your dream. You are happy because you're doing it. So why do people do this? Why do people constantly tell you whether you can reach your dream or whether you're going to fail? Why do people tell you and have this judgment, this pre-judgmental thing to tell you whether you can reach your dream or not? Well, they base that on very fundamental things, very fundamental information, based on the way that you talk, based on the way that you act, based on the way you behave, to jump to a conclusion or an assumption whether you can achieve your dream or not. Just like you guys are doing here tonight. Maybe I met you guys on town and I told you guys, you know what, I'm going to have a presentation about your attitude towards your goal. And that's all the information you had, right? You put that information in your head and that automatically made a feeling or a thought appear. And you made that feeling or that thought into a behavior by showing up here today. So if you can see yourself getting on that bus, because you know if you can get on that bus, it's going to take you to something bigger. It's going to take you to where you want to be. And you can do that by others, by automatically assume that a person can do something based on just a little information, then why can't you do that by yourself? Why can't you imagine or see yourself, and with that feeling and that thought about you one day reaching your dream, why can't you put that into a behavior where you actually start moving and acting like the person that you want to be one day? It sounds great, doesn't it? You sleep less, you work harder, you eat faster, and you go into achieve what it is that you want. It sounds great, huh? So why should you listen to me? Why should you listen to this Middle Eastern, Swedish, handsome guy that stands on a small stage in Sundsvall, right? Well, because I've been there myself. When I was younger, I got abused to a lot of bullying and a lot of discrimination. I can't tell you guys how many times that I walked down the hallway and my own classmates used to tell me how bad I was. Like, everything that I said, every question that I had, they used to whisper stupid back in the class. They used to laugh at me. Every time I walked down the hallway, they used to slap me in the back of my head, telling me that I was stupid. After gym class, they used to walk up to me and push me up the wall, and they would literally spit in my face, telling me that I would never accomplish anything that I put my mind to. My own classmates, after class, they used to walk out after me as well, and they used to tell me, go home. I was like, why should I go home? We're in school, I can't just leave, right? They meant go back to my country because apparently the color of my skin was enough to tell me that I didn't belong in the society. So people will always tell you where you can accomplish something. People are always going to tell you and jump to a conclusion based on just a little type of information. And that happened in school, right? So I was a bad student. That made me feel not only a bad person, but it made me feel like I was a bad student. And some of you guys might be laughing now because I play a lot of basketball in my spare time. And why might you be laughing? Because I'm really short. So I used to play basketball in my spare time, right? And you might think that from my team, the same thing happened. You know, this should be nice, right? We're a team, we play together, we do everything together. Same thing happened there. They used to make fun of me that I could never accomplish anything, not only in basketball, but he attacked me as a human being. So whatever I tried to accomplish, whatever I tried to do, they used to tell me that I was never going to achieve it. I can't tell you guys how many times that I woke up in the middle of the night, wanted everything to end. I can't tell you guys how many times that I had the words idiot or stupid written over my locker every time I walked by. And the worst part was that I started to believing in those things. I started to believing that I was not only a bad person, but I was never going to amount to anything. Then one day, we got a new basketball coach. His name was Mark. And I don't think Mark intentionally meant to do this, but he made me feel like an equal. So for feeling less than inadequate, finally having someone that sees you as his or her equal is something great. And even though I said this whole time that no one, should care about you, and shouldn't care about what other people say or think about you when it's something negative, neither positive, because it's all up to you whether your attitude towards the problem or towards your goal is all that matters. So I made a decision when I was 13 years old. I made a decision that I wanted to do what Mark did to me, to everyone else. By personally achieving my goal, in fact, is to be on a stage which I am here today doing. This is my dream. I struggled with this since I was 13 years old. And I'm finally here, and I've never been this happy. I've never been this happy as I am right now. So I remember once when Mark came up to me and he told me, David, a good basketball player always ready with a triple threat. And for those of you guys who don't know what a triple threat is, let me tell you. A triple threat is when you're ready to shoot the ball, ready to dribble the ball, and ready to pass the ball at any given time. So your elbow is always supposed to be in a 90 degrees angle. I changed my pillows from one side of the bed to the other side so I could fall asleep every night with my arm in a 90 degrees angle. That's how much I love basketball. It's true. I know it's stupid, I know, but I just love basketball. And I love the feeling that someone finally started to believing in me, helping me start to believe in myself. That's how much I love basketball. I did that throughout 9 months, every night. I changed eating. I was 13, right? I was 13. I changed eating to my left hand because I never wanted to take out my elbow while I was eating. So I started eating with my left hand instead. When it was cold outside, I used to walk around like this because I didn't want to take out my elbow, because I always wanted to be close to my body in a 90 degrees angle. I know it's stupid, but I tried to put myself in the position where I knew that I was going to work harder than everyone has ever done. So when I went up to study up in the northern part of Sweden, I made a promise to myself that I was going to be the first student in school every morning. That was my goal. That's the promise that I made to myself. So at 4:45 every day, I woke up and I got on the bus, and every time I used to knock on at the front door of the university, right? And the janitors were so pissed off because I kept interrupting their job all the time, so they had to run down and open the door for me so I can come in. Because I decided this is my goal and this is important for me. Regardless of what anyone else says, this is something that's important for me. But sadly I failed that exam. So I thought to myself, how can I push myself even further? How can I and passing the exam, that was not my ultimate goal. My ultimate goal was to have some good material to put in the stage in the future. I decided that when I was 13. And I didn't know how long time it was going to take me for me to gather enough material to stand on this stage having that presentation. But I knew if I don't try, I'll never find out. And I'm not telling you guys to walk around like this because it's stupid and it hurts. It's extremely painful, trust me. And I'm not telling you guys to wake up early in the morning, neither. I'm telling you that if it's important to you, you will put yourself in the position where you know that you will succeed. If you know that you can't study well back home, then go to the university. If you know that you work better at night, then go out at night and sleep in the morning. Find a way for you to work harder than anyone has ever done. So when I failed that exam, by the way, and I thought to myself, how can I push myself even further? So 4:45 wasn't enough for me. I had to push it even further. So I called my friend, right? I called my friend and I told him, I want you to wake me up when you go to bed. He was looking straight at me. Why should I call you when I go to bed? Because I told him that's when I want to wake up. So at 2 a.m. in the middle of the night, he called me. Throughout 2 weeks, he called me at 2 a.m. in the middle of the night. I got one of these cars with 24/7 access to the university. So he called me for 2 weeks straight, Monday till Sunday. I was at school at 3:30 in the morning all this time to study. I wanted to be there before class started so I can then sit in the front row asking the teacher questions about the things I didn't understand. After class, I stayed after school as well, correcting everything all my mistakes that I did before when I read it. And passing the class wasn't my goal. Well, my goal was that I could have material to have on this stage today, which took me 8.5 years to reach. So I didn't know when I was 13 that it was going to take so long to be here. But it's worth it. This whole grind, this whole journey, regardless how many people ever tell you guys or told me that your dream is inadequate, that it's unrealistic, that it might be stupid, they don't know your struggle. They don't know what you've been through. So no one has the right to tell you that you can't achieve your dream. But it's all up to you how hard you're going to work. People ask me sometimes, aren't you tired? I mean, waking up at 2 a.m., aren't you tired? And I said, no, because I never saw that grind as an obligation, because this was my dream, this was my life, this is something that I wanted out of it. I loved every morning waking up early because I knew it's another opportunity for me to work harder, to reach my dream one day. This is my craft, and this is my legacy. And I wish you all to go out and find your own craft and work on it. And I want you all to remember it's all for you, it's all with you, and it's all about you. Thank you.